Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give you kind of an update. Sorry, my webcam is not very good, or the sound quality on my laptop, so I apologize. But um, this is just kind of a update. I haven't done a video like this for a while and stuff. And mainly I wanted to talk about what's going on with me with my health. Um, and I'm not doing this for pity. Um, or sympathy. Um, I'm doing it in the hopes too to help maybe somebody else going through serious health, you know, conditions and diseases or what have you. And I just want people out there to know they don't have to feel alone. So that's why it's easier for me to talk about it and just so people can understand me better. Um, because if they know kind of what I'm going through, they can hopefully understand me better and understand sometimes the way I am or why I'm the way I am. And I mean, you all know about the MS and things like that and some other health stuff. Um, More recently, though, I was diagnosed with, well, first I should say that a few years ago I was diagnosed with a blood disorder on top of everything else. So, uh, because my oncologist is also a hematologist, I follow him too. I follow through with them too for my blood disorder. And it's another reason why I have to stay on, blood thinners for the rest of my life. Um, and how that came about was, so I was diagnosed with that probably about 4.5 years ago, or around maybe 4 years ago. Because that came about after my last pulmonary embolism 5 years ago, or almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in November. Um, and sorry, I say a lot, so I apologize for that. A bad habit. So here we go. Anyway, and it had been actually my second one in 6 months. Um, the first one was, of course, when I was down at Barrows in the epilepsy monitoring unit. I developed symptoms, which I thought I was getting bronchitis at the time. And then my legs swelled up so bad, and of course, then my blood work was all off anyway. They thought I had a DVT, but it wasn't. But my levels were very high, so they knew I had one, and they knew I probably had one in my lungs. Unfortunately, I couldn't have a CT scan at the time because of everything that I was hooked up to. And they can't just, they couldn't just unhook me from all the stuff. So, anyway, so then my second one was 6 months later in November of 2017 when I um, had the pancreatitis and other things, and I had surgery on my bile ducts and a whole slew of stuff going on at that time. Well, I developed another pulmonary embolism. So then I was put on blood thinners at that time. Before I was just like on a prophylactic dose for a while. Um, so the initial plan was to stay on them for about 6 months. But my oncologist, hematologist, looked into it and did further blood work and tested me for a certain blood disorder, which can cause blood clotting. Well, initially, if people have this, it's not really considered a disorder because it can be caused by certain deficiency, um, in like vitamin B and folic acid, things like that. However, I was tested for like the gene mutations for this, or the defective genes, whatever you want to call it. It turns out I do have one of the gene mutations, so it makes it more serious. So it's not just a matter of being deficient. It's, actually just has to do with my genes. So anyway, that's how that all came about. So I've had this blood disorder now for like 4.5 years. Well, this past year, I saw my endocrinologist for my follow-up for my osteoporosis and stuff. And, I've had osteoporosis for years. Part of that too, was just genetic, and then getting older, and then, after my hysterectomy, and then after my breast cancer, I was on tamoxifen for a little over 5 years actually. And that all causes osteoporosis. So anyway, it wasn't too bad for years, and so I was on just a pill for osteoporosis for almost 6 years. And then my osteoporosis was actually getting a little worse, and it was time to come off the first medication that I was on. So he sent me to an endocrinologist at that time, and then so I've been having, my yearly checkups. And then my last DEXA scan was last year in July. And of course, it had been 2 years since my last one, since you get one every 2 years. And my osteoporosis and osteopenia had gotten considerably worse, severely worse actually. So then, besides the blood work that I had already had done for her, she then looked into it further because of other symptomology that I had been having. My fatigue had become more severe. Over the last year, I've had drastic weight loss for no reason. Of course, like with my fatigue, I have that all the time because of my MS. But it has just gotten drastically worse. And so anyway, so then she did some specialized blood work, and which is called it basically checks like for plasma cell disorders, which, is produced from the bone, comes from the bone marrow. And so when she did these specialized blood tests, of course, they did come back like positive, and they came back fairly high. So because she couldn't fully interpret it, she wanted me to go back. She wanted me to call my oncologist, hematologist, and get in as soon as possible and have them interpret it and see what they thought. So I had an appointment in November. I had saw her again I saw her last August, and then I saw her again in September. And then I went back to oncologist in November, even though I was due till like December. And I had been going like once a year. I've been down to once a year for the last, several years, for my oncology appointments. And so, anyway, they checked everything over, and because of a lot of new symptoms I was having and different issues, and because of this blood work, they were concerned for, I know some people already knew about this, but they were concerned about lymphoma or bone metastasis. So this prompted some more blood work. And then I had a CT scan in December just to make sure there wasn't lymphoma, thank goodness there was no lymphoma. However, I've been having to be seen every 3 months since November again. And now they've been rechecking this special blood work and then a little bit more, which has to do with this, which has to be in conjunction with these special blood tests that are being done. And they keep being high. So, and I just saw my oncologist again, because I was kind of seeing the nurse practitioner too, for a while too, which, and the PAs and stuff. So, I just saw him, my oncologist, last week, and he is still concerned, but it turns out that I do have a blood plasma, or a plasma cell disorder. What this means, it is a precancerous condition. So I was diagnosed basically a few months back. It does not necessarily mean I'm going to get cancer, but having this does increase now the risk. And there's different risk categories to this, and there's actually different subtypes to this particular one, and I am at higher risk. And partially because of the high ratio in this, and the high, basically what it is the blood test is called a kappa lambda free light chain assay, and then they also do what is called the ratio, the kappa lambda ratio. The ratio is what they're really get concerned over. And then, of course, then they have to do other additional lab work in conjunction with these. So this is what's been high. And since 3 months ago, those numbers have gone up. Not significantly. They've gone up slightly. So they're stable. They're not like changing drastically. So he did say, since I've been on 3 months, he says, I can actually let you go longer this time. So I'm like, oh, thinking good. I'll probably get to go 6 months. Well, no, I get to go 4 months instead of 3 months. So, but that's okay. It's just one of those things. And then he said, after, in 4 months, if they haven't changed like too drastically, or if I'm fairly stable, then I'll get to start going every 6 months, and then I'll have to do every 6 months for the rest of my life. So like I said, it is a precancerous plasma cell disorder. It can lead to other, it can develop into other, like, blood cancers, predominantly multiple myeloma, but there's also other blood cancers it can lead to, such as certain types of leukemia and lymphoma, and some other types of cancers, and other more serious plasma cell disorders. I am not worried about it. It's like one of those things you can't worry about it, because it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm ever going to get cancer, again in my lifetime. I mean, I hope not, but, there is always a chance. And of course, my percentage is a little higher because I'm a higher risk. So, it's still like maybe a 25, 26% chance. But, like I said, I'm not worried, because it doesn't make sense to be worried. It's just one more thing to deal with on top of all my other disorders and diseases, and it's just something new, and I've got some things that are very rare, and My mom had things that happened to her that were very rare, and especially with her blood and with her history, there's just so much we have in common, unfortunately. Um, there's some things that are a little different, but we do have a lot that's in common. And so, you know, I try to be positive, and I'm normally, typically I'm a strong person. Um, and I don't dwell on it, but it is always kind of in the back of your mind anytime something comes up, especially once you've had cancer. Um, and stuff, and also too with this plasma cell disorder, there's also increased risk with blood clots and stuff too with that. So between my blood disorder and the plasma cell disorder, it is what it is. But so over the past year, my health has been declining quite a bit. Like I said, the weight loss, I'm down quite a bit, Um, I still wear my baggy clothes because I don't. Have any clothes that fit. Um, thank goodness my sister, middle sister, has given, because she's pretty skinny, so she had given me some of her stuff, but, mostly shirts and stuff, but, you know, but can't afford new clothes, so, I bought a new pair of pants last year for my mom's funeral and a new shirt. I bought them in smaller sizes, and they're already way too big. So, I have to get something that fits me eventually. So it just sucks, not having clothes that fit. I never thought I'd say that. I'd rather have them tight than like fall off of me, so, but anyway. Um, so I just kind of wanted to give an update, and like I said, I'm not doing this to make people feel sorry for me or anything like that. I just want people to understand, and this goes for all people out there dealing with some sort of health issues or what or other struggles. It doesn't have to be health issues. I just want people to be more aware and compassionate of other people, and don't judge people. Don't judge people on the way they look or how they talk or or what they're going through, because unless you've walked in their shoes, you just don't really have any idea. Um, you know, People with chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases, such as myself, and um, we're not lazy, and having the fatigue is so much different than being tired. Um, for ones who know, you know what I'm talking about, who go through it, because, people don't get that. It's not the same as being tired. You can't just take a nap and feel better. Um, so, and then, you've probably seen this video too. I've got a swollen salivary gland, and you can't really see it in the video, but I'm getting a little rash starting here. I had this a few months ago, and then I had to be on antibiotics for the salivary gland. But then the rash got worse and never went away, and nobody can figure out what's causing this, and it comes on suddenly, and they both kind of come on at the same time. So it doesn't itch, it doesn't hurt, nothing. But it just looks awful. And this puffiness here, this isn't a lump or anything here. Nobody knows what this is from, but I got this, like, it's just like soft skin. I've got that last year. I got really sick after Mom's funeral. Like within a day or two after her funeral, and I was sick for like a week and a half, and I was really sick. And it showed up like within a few days of being sick, and it's never gone away. So it's a mystery, just like most things with me, and like my mom was too. She was she was a very difficult case for doctors and very complicated, and and that's why we used to talk a lot. We used to understand each other a lot because we both kind of understood what each other was going through. And to say that I'm strong all the time would be, I'm not. And to admit it is difficult. And there's many times I cry, and not because I'm feeling sorry for myself. Um, Sometimes it's because of pain. Um, I deal with a large amount of pain, and I have a very high tolerance for pain. And a lot of it's just frustration. And because of all the stuff my body goes through, and I just get frustrated, and it just gets the best of me sometimes. I cry on my own many times. Um, so I do get depressed. I'm human. And, me, when me and my mom used to talk, there's a lot that people didn't know about my mom. When she was going through her leukemia the first and second time around too, there was many times she would get very depressed. And a lot of people didn't know that. I did, but there's a lot of people that didn't know, and probably people in our family who didn't know that. And, people are just used to us smiling all the time and, you know, trying to be positive and strong. We're strong individuals and strong in faith, and you know, I'm thankful I have my faith, which keeps me pushing through. But yeah, it gets tough. It gets real tough. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I can't change the world, but if I can help one person, then it's all worth it. I just want people uh, to know, don't judge other people. Be kind. You don't know what they're going through. Um just have compassion, and don't judge. And I just want people to know they don't have to feel alone, no matter what you're going through, whether it's, something health wise, where if you're having difficulties mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever, you know, we all go through difficulties in our life, and that's just part of life. Um, we would never learn if life was simple. Um, it's these difficulties and these storms that teach us things, and um, help make us better people and make us stronger and stuff. But I just want people to know you don't have to feel alone. And also, I'm here anytime anybody needs to talk, even on my worst days. I'm a great listener. I keep secrets well. So if you confide in me, it's not going anywhere. Um, so if anybody ever they feel like they need to talk, even if somebody just needs me to pray for them or with them, I'm here for you. Um, I just don't want people to feel alone, and I've been there, and it's hard. Um, so, I just want people to know that, and kind of, I just, like I said, I wanted to give people a kind of an update of what's going on. Um, because I could definitely use lots of prayers, um, for strength, for comfort, for healing, for you know, just anybody, prayer warriors, please say some prayers. And that's another thing too. I want to say too that, um, if anybody needs me to pray for them, I'm here. I am a great prayer warrior also. My mom taught me well, brought me up well, and God bless her soul. I miss her so much. Um, she was the one who I confided in the most. She was my best friend, and um, so I feel like getting this out more and talking about things more kind of helped me in a way. It's therapeutic as well. So just just know that, like, if I ever seem grouchy or down, or it's just because I'm having a bad day. And like I said, it's like, you know, I do lie a lot when I say I'm fine when people ask me, because a lot of times that's just easier. I mean, honestly, people, even my own family, probably doesn't know half my health stuff. Um, and I really think a lot of people probably would not believe it, probably would think I'm a hypochondriac or whatever if they saw my list of health conditions and stuff. I literally have a complete page of health problems. One good thing, though, is my kidneys now have been pretty stable for the past year, so that's really good. And so there's no changes in that. My kidney function's staying good, and so um, and that is one of the things too they kind of have to keep an eye on too with this plasma cell disorder. But it's like I said, it's a precancerous condition. It doesn't go away. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a kind of a wait and see game, and it just has to be closely monitored, because then if there is ever any changes, they can catch it right away. So if it does turn into like multiple myeloma or any other blood cancer or disease, um, they it can be treated early on, you know, and stuff like that. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared a little bit. Like I said, it does, there's always a piece of that in the back of your mind, but once you go, like I said, once you go through cancer, um, you know, but it's not something I dwell on, you know. Honestly, I don't really think about it until something else comes up, and then it's, you realize it's always kind of in the back of your mind. You just learn to kind of shut it out, um, because you can't live in fear like that. And you have to you know, live the best you can each and every day. And that's why I thank God every single day. I thank God for giving me another day, for waking me up and giving me another day to, spend with my family, or, to do the things I want to do, or, um, and like I said, my mom was always one, who, when she was going through all her leukemia stuff, not this last time, obviously, because went so quick, 3 months, and, that was it. But in the past, she had given her testimony, many times, church groups. She she was invited to give her testimony about going through a lot of things that she had went through, you know, at a school once. I think it was in Prescott. Um, she's given, you know, she's been invited to be a guest speaker at many organizations and different things too. And just random people she, would talk to, and, they would just thank her because she actually helped so many people along the way. And, I guess in some ways I'm like her because I I enjoy helping other people if I can, and in the best ways I I can, with what God has gifted me. Um, in the ways that I know how. Um, so I apologize. I know this is a little long. And like I said, I apologize if the sound and video quality is not that good. Like I said, my camera sucks and so does the sound. But anyway, hopefully someday I can get just a cheap one and that'll do a little bit better job. And so please pray for me. And like I said, I'm here for anybody who needs it. I'm just a phone call, a text, a Facebook message, an email, whatever, think I said phone call already, but whatever the case may be, just reach out to me. Like I said, even on my worst days, I'm happy to listen and happy to be there for somebody if they need it. Don't ever hesitate or feel bad, or um, I don't want you to feel alone. Um, no one should ever have to feel alone in what they're going through, and just know that there are ways you can reach out for help with no matter what. I know sometimes it is hard to ask for help, and I'm one of those people that actually have a hard time asking people for help, no matter what it is. I try to deal with things more on my own, and so I am guilty of that. Um, but anyway, I just hope everybody is having a great day. Please remember, be kind to one another. Please don't judge other people. Just be the best version of yourself that you can be. Um, I love you all. Thank you all for being in my life. You make it all worth it. Um, Always, you're all your love and support, and from all you know, all you relatives and friends and um, church members who are also friends. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for ones who actually watch this and listen to all the way to the end, thank you. Um, and I appreciate the care and support. Love you all. God bless you all. Have a great day.